Hello, friends, and welcome to Figure Study, where we appreciate the form in Transformers. Today it is all about Robots in Disguise Bisk, who was surprisingly difficult to get a hold of. I ended up having to order him off of ToysRUs.com because just could not find this figure in stores. And, well, I'll get into that in a minute. Pop these guns off because I should have done that before starting the film, but I'm silly and wasn't thinking. Anyway, so Bisk. Bisk he's a neat kind of car. It almost has like a Transformers Prime Viacon vibe to it with all of the sort of concept car-ish angles and it's like a combination of old school vehicle design, like old Cadillac or something like that, but also with more of a modern take. I'm into it. I do like the vehicle mode. I'm also fine with the color. I mean, it's orange, but there's a fair bit of actual color around it, which I actually do like. I mean, there's not a ton, but I feel like in this instance they actually painted what mattered. Like, you've got the black for the windows. Technically nothing in the back, but I think because of the angle of the back of the car here, they can kind of get away with implying there may not be a rear window. Because even if there was, I'm not entirely sure I'd be able to see over this stuff. It's a little bit of paint on the wheels, which, yeah, not silver hubcaps like I like, but I like that metallic blue ring they've got going around the outside. And since this is a semi-futuristic concept car looking thing, I'm okay with them painting the wheels a little differently because I think it kind of fits. Yeah, and of course in the front you've got... I'll get to that in a minute. In the front you've got the headlights, which I like the fact that it was like silver and metallic blue, not just a solid color. I think these are vents or intakes are supposed to be in the grille. It does kind of stink that they've got the spot for the Decepticon logo there, but they don't actually have anything. It's just kind of weird that they bothered to mold that in if they weren't going to put anything there. And then, of course, on the back, you've got these reddish bronze fins, spoilers, whatever you want to call them. And nothing really going on in the back. On the other side, underside, lots of robot junk. But yeah, I do think this is actually a neat-looking car. In the grand scheme of things, I like the shape of it. I think the colors work, and there's not a whole lot of paint, but there's just enough there to really make the details stand out. And there are a few details that you don't actually get to see, upon first glance, like the little vent detail up here, little details on the side here and on the back. But overall, it is a neat-looking car. The thing that sucks with mine is there's some kind of an issue where this side will not stay pegged in. When I squeeze it down, it's fine, and then I let go, and it just pops right back up. But if I pop this little section out, if I pop this out and pull that down, now it stays just fine. So it's some kind of weird... I don't really know what happened. I don't think I'm transforming it wrong. I think it's just some kind of weird production flaw. So it's if I want it to look proper in its vehicle mode, then I've got to pop this out, which just doesn't work. So then when I put that in, then this pops out again. It's a lose-lose, really. But that little problem aside, which is, you can easily ignore it if you're looking at them from this angle or even from this angle. It's just dead on that it becomes apparent. That aside, good-looking vehicle mode. On to the robot lobster mode. And here we have Bisk in his robot lobster mode, and this is just... I enjoy the unconventionalness of this. I like the sort of humanoid lobster look that they've gone and given him. I like how the car kind of forms these very obvious crustacean claws. It's really neat how they've kind of done a lot of that with this character. Not a whole lot of detail in robot mode that isn't already visible in vehicle mode. I mean, you know, you've got the front as the shoulder pads, you've got the front as the claws, the back of the car is the legs. Really, it's just the feet, and then like this little midsection here, and then the torso, which has the QR Decepticon logo. I've never been a fan of those. But yeah. So, where to begin? I do like the fact that they broke up the orange with this much darker red, which you only got to see a tiny hint of on what is now the knees in vehicle mode. It's, you know, it helps break it up, keeps him from being a little too orange. Hopefully my lights aren't going to screw that up and make him seem uber orange also, because he's looking a little blown out on the camera right now. I also quite like the fact they gave him a bit of a hunchback, which is kind of hard to tell, but it works, and he has very little backpack too, or no backpack really. So yeah, I'm into that. Definitely dig the face, which looks sort of like a cartoon lobster. I even painted little beady eyes. The only thing that sucks about this head is these antennae are really soft, and if you're not careful, it's really easy to get them bent when you transform them into vehicle mode. But other than that, looks good. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any aesthetic issues with this figure. He's neat. He's got, like, I like the fact that he's a little bit stumpy looking. Like, he's got these short little legs, but these longer arms, which are about 80% claw. He's neat overall. I do kind of wish that... There's a kitten yelling at me. Honey, I'm kind of in the middle of something. Okay. You let me finish? You let me finish? Oh no. No, don't jump up. Be careful. Okay, there's now a kitten on my lap. I am very sorry for the interruption, folks. No, Astrid, please don't ask. Okay, well, we have a special guest now. So, anyway, I do kind of wish that these wheel bits could fold back into the legs. Like, it looks like there's room for them, but it's just not built into it. So, other than the sort of baggy boots that he's got going on there, I don't really, you just gonna hang out? Just gonna hang out? Other than that, I don't really have any issue with it. Okay. Don't really have any issue with that otherwise. I also like how they gave him the two-toed feet that are, you know, slightly monster looking because, you know, he turns into a giant lobster. Thing is, I'm just... Like, I was super into getting Bisk because I was like, hey, he's a car that turns into a lobster monster. That's pretty great. And it's a neat idea, and it's, you know, it's definitely different. But now that I have him, I'm really not that enthusiastic about him anymore. It's just like, I don't know. Like, he looks cool, but he doesn't quite... Astrid... Astrid, stop it. No, we're not going to play with the guns. No, we're not. Anyway, he looks cool, but just, I don't know, he doesn't... Like, after transforming him back and forth a couple of times, he doesn't really do anything for me anymore. Like, I'm definitely put off by the fact that that one claw is weird in how when he transforms into a vehicle, it doesn't quite stay. But I think, I don't know, it's just the RID line has been really hit and miss with me because they're like, simpler toys, which are sometimes a good thing. Like Scorponok I still think is fantastic, and while Grimlock is simple, he's really neat. But I don't know, Bisk just doesn't... There's something about him that just doesn't really impress me. Which is sad, because I really wanted to get my hands on this figure for a really long time, because he turns into a robot lobster. I mean, come on, that is awesome. I don't recall ever seeing anything like that before, but I don't know, just in hand, he's honestly kind of underwhelming. And I don't understand why. Like, you can get some decent poses out of him. He's got a nice overall silhouette. He's unconventional, and I love me some unconventional figures. Oh, are you done? Are you done? Okay. She's done. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not like the color scheme, because I don't see myself being any more enamored with this thing if he had more color or decals or anything like that. He's just kind of it just wouldn't be a figure study if I didn't forget to do a size comparison until well after the fact, huh? So let's do this. There we've got Bisk next to Samus, and next to a Titan's Return Deluxe. He is a bit of a short dude, but he's stocky. I'll give him that. I wish I could be better. I wish I could do a better job of figuring out what it is about him that's so meh to me, but I don't know. It's just, you know, I got him. I transformed him a couple of times. He looks neat enough, but when it comes down to it, if I got to make room on my shelf, he's not going to be sticking around. Incidentally, I do have to make room on my shelf, so he's not going to be sticking around. But anyway, yeah, it's just, sorry I don't like this figure more. But that has been my look at Robots in Disguise Bisk. As I said, aesthetically very neat. I think the car mode looks really neat. I dig the just weirdness of this mode. It's just, for me, not my thing. I really thought it would be, but it's just not. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. As per usual, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Any combination of those three would make me a happy Rob. And remember, art with lobster, I don't know, it's more than meets the eye. I don't know where I'm going with this.